you know, I really need to do a better job of vlogging and being on my YouTube channel. So here we go. I'm going to make a messy video. It's going to be messy, it's going to be scrappy. I don't care. Editing's probably going to suck because I'm going to be doing it by myself. I don't care. I just need to put something out there. So here's day one. It's January 12th. I have been sick since Christmas, so I have not been able to have much energy, but I'm leaving the gym, lifetime. Best gym I've ever been to, love it. So just did a workout with Adam, my husband, and Henry stayed the night at Grandma's, so I'm going over to the race shop, picking up Henry, and then we have day two of the Motorsports Sponsorship Summits later on today. So I will take you behind the scenes so that way you can see who we talk to, what do we talk about, and basically it's all about why do companies sponsor racers and what they look for when it comes to a sponsorship in motorsports. So I'll take you along.
Mom, I want to try if my water truck can drive up those two snow piles.
You think your Raptor truck can drive up the snow pile?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Please.
Okay, let's go see if Grandpa's in the shop. And what do you want him to do with your car?
I'm making that eye.
Mm-hmm. Do you want Grandpa to fix your transformer car?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go see. Let's go see if he's in the shop.
Okay. Mom.
I'm coming.
Grandpa. Down that big hill. Cheese.
Down that big hail.
Well, there's no batteries in it. Somebody took the batteries.
Yeah. There's no batteries.
Well, Grandpa put a couple in?
Yeah.
What do you say?
You just put two in.
Yeah, what do you say?
Please.
Okay, for you I will.
No. Put it in high.
My batteries.
Are you stuck?
No.
Go fast.
Floor it. Henry, you gotta back up. Henry! Henry, stop. Back up. Uh-oh. You're stuck again. You gotta get out and push it. Henry, stop. He's gonna fall. Oh, jeez. Here we go. Ready? Yep, ready,
All right, hang on. You're going to go fast. Down the
set. Yay!
That's funny. Okay, do it again.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
get up.
stuck. Get up.
Yeah, you can.
Just move the sled out of the way.
Rope there. I'll leave the rope there. No, you'll fall out if you hold the rope. Yeah, go back there. You'll be better. Okay, ready?
Grandpa, hold me.
No, come on. You can do it. You're a big boy. Come on this side over here.
There we go.
Mom, what's I do?
I'm watching.
Oh, it's going to be a big one. Ready? Okay, hold on tight. Here we go. Ready, set, go. You jumped out.
That's because we're trying to jump out.
Nah, Henry, sit on your bottom. You want to sit like that? You good? Okay, you can drive. I hope sand tires work good in the snow. There we go. Yay! Turn, Henry, turn. Yep. Hold on. Ready, set, go! Yay! Woohoo! They fell out. All right, just finished up playtime with the Razor. I got to do my turn of driving it in the snow, having some fun, making some donuts. But of course, who's the one that has to get all the snow off before it can come back inside and make sure there's no water on the floor? Me. So got that all cleaned up. My dad's finishing shoveling the sidewalk right now. And so we're going to be doing some Ask Randy videos next. Do really, really well over on the Randy My Racing page on Instagram and Facebook. And we ask questions, even the most basic questions that are sent in by our fans, because, you know, being a crew chief, car owner, these are things that to us is just completely common sense, like things that we would never think of to put out there. So I love that we ask fans for their questions so that way they can get more educated, they can become more well known of what all it takes to run a top alcohol dragster, because it's not that easy. There's a lot of really little stuff that goes into it that makes a huge difference with everything. So we're going to record a couple videos for that, and then we're gonna have a team meeting, and then I gotta head home. Okay, made it home just in time. I got 15 minutes to do hair and makeup. You know, I wish that on Zoom, like, why is there not just a filter to that, you know, is like the what's the one on TikTok that, like, where it will do like your hair and makeup for you and make it look realistic? Like, why can't we have filters on Zoom so that way I don't have to spend 15 minutes putting makeup on and doing my hair for a 45-minute Zoom, and then I don't need it for the rest of the day. Like, I really struggle with this, like, getting ready, especially because I do work from home full time, and the only times that I do have to actually, like, get ready and look presentable is when I do Zoom, which on average is like, I don't know, busy season, it is multiple times a week, but right now, off season, not that long. So I really don't need to get ready that often. That's why 90% of the time I don't have makeup on, because it's just too much effort. I don't like it. I like how I look naturally. You know, I still struggle with acne, especially since I have been off of birth control for 9 months now. I think it's been 9 months. It's starting to get a lot better. But this last summer when I got off birth control, I had such bad acne and my periods were just unpredictable. My mood was crazy. Thankfully, my husband did not leave me, because he probably should have, the way how I acted and treated him because of my moods. So getting off birth control is no joke. Also, I have recently started using beef tallow, or this is bison tallow. I got the fancy stuff, and that has helped a lot with acne. All right, I got like the most basic that I need for this Zoom call. So just like barely any mascara, tiny bit of foundation just to kind of give a little more better color. And I might have DoorDash pizza and cookies last night because I was home alone after doing the summit yesterday for day one. Henry stayed at grandma's house. Adam went to Iowa to go buy another toy, so I was home alone. Sick, did not want to leave the house, DoorDash some food. So I gotta eat my lunch because I'm starving. It's 2 o'clock. Haven't had anything other than my protein shake after the gym. So getting ready, waiting for them to allow me into Zoomy Zoom for the day 2 of the sponsorship summit. Can't wait.
drag race. So we've expanded as far as quite a bit of aircraft stuff, quite a bit of defense. So anything's a liquid, we'll jump right in. We have staged the government to dual drone, gotten involved in a lot of, and the nice thing about that stuff, it has impact on business, the automotive, and it's very profitable thanks to all of our tax. They don't mind spending.
Nice. Scott, what about you?
Well, obviously, being with Moros, been around close to that. The start was both drag race. Started off when we were built for the train. We're very diverse, and that's our really the back. So there's time drag art, but right, working out a lot of drifting, a lot of every roar build, very stuff.
I know.
How it's good.
Yeah, he's probably the best looking one here.
No kid.
Jackie, okay, so obviously anything with an engine takes a spark plug, but I know like you have the NTK sensors, which we cannot run in top alcohol dragster, but there are some other classes that can. So is drag racing a good market for you guys?
Yeah, we're on probably everything that brings already. A lot of motorcycle, drag drift, like I mentioned, spark plug, but last year we performance wheels that tested that at drift, so a lot of those got, which was exciting. And then 8 starters, so that's it's not technically a performance product, so we're probably a lot of motor, obviously also airplane, and then we are down fairly.
Okay, so we'll just stick with you for next. What value do you receive? Is it any different than from one of the other motorsports that you work?
I would say, obviously drag racing super, and honest followed us, sort of exited being a person at those events, like we were dragging at events, a lot of event trailer, and as with a lot of like that sort of been back, not spending as much of that, but the teams are our best, and we're president, so I mean it is quite a lot put on it in the past, we were present, but now I talk about who was public, we're because I can't, so.
Yeah, and one thing that we love to do, because spark plugs, we go through them every single pass, so we love to give the fans the used spark plug, and especially the little kids, like they think it's so cool, and everyone there is trying to get some used parts to take home with, so thankfully spark plugs are very easy for them to put in their pockets, not a big tire that a kid's got to roll around for the rest of the day.
People lug those tires around.
Yeah.
It's tires.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Okay, so Scott, for you, the next question, what value do you receive from drag racing, and is it different?
Well, it's definitely different. Mark a lot more circle track racing. We're not saying drag race. Start off going all the way up through. You guys race a lot of tip and roll, drag or near race, build this up, and the end drag meet the end. Most of them they brand them day. That's what's different. Drag that's why you highest parts of anything. As we all know, build 12.
And Jeff, is that the same for you guys at Airmotive?
Yeah, quite a bit. Sorry, I disappointed a little bit. I think the big thing with us having drag race willing test products separately come up that we're testing, but we all know that don't test, we don't race dynos, so we have to get real world XPs, and that comes from someone that has a well-built pro trust, because we may not be there. We may send the product, send back that, send every run thing. So that's very important. Later, us with sponsor cars, raise them into the family, because they're trying a whole lot more than they think they're going to get. My investment back, and the drag race or the racer in general is us product ideas. They tell us what they're struggling, where they need help. Hey, if made something that did this, solved this problem. Steve was stick defense. So we're all about solving problem and solve that problem. Charge according to a whole lot of that we know what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know my dad likes to take advantage of that relationship for sure. Since you're so close to us. So to stick with you, Jeff. So Jackie had talked about kind of pulling back with doing activation at the track. Is there any activations that you guys do, or is it where you're just kind of relying on the team at the track that can help, like what Jackie?
We're definitely more geared that way. Very large company, so I'm really paying somebody that can do every on bottom out. We love to ball in activation, so especially about new product lifeblood, any autumn aftermarket company. We're not growing, unfortunately, so the only way manufacturers make money, we either have to take market share or we have to come out with product. So there was a reason our employee 6 up and wasn't driving a train. That was driving. So working with the racer, getting back, them willing to work with us. We know the guy goes to test session, makes 10 car like make it.
Right.
Hopefully you're going there for other besides test product. So yeah, so without the race.
So with that, do you have any new products coming out 2025?
Quick story, we've been bought and sold a couple times by private equity, still trying to get our back under our ground. Yes, I have a whole bunch of product, consolidated 9 brands, so I have a lot more brands, just Aeromotive. We're slowly getting back. I have some rather large electric fuel pump, more for that free drag and drive guy that either drag or is treated. We're working on a gallon electric pump. We have a 10 gallon, we're actually working 7 gallon electric pump that will be happy driving the road down the drag technology that we've developed for outside of our business to be able to heat up slow the pump based on the vehicle is taken. So yeah, we're going a lot of directions, right? Like I said, it's the lifeblood, and we've been pretty stagnant. We've been high, and now we're in COVID over, so we didn't have to do anything product. We do off the shelf. Now we're paying for that. We got to get back to your product.
Scott, what about you? Is yours more based on product sales, or do you like to do more activation?
Well, it's funny because when you go away for every train, that good work track, talk, end of the record. We have a work track that now you take the hand. So back in the day, we ran with target. Nowadays, motor like our race, watch not gone the day are mega that most motor. They were like that by word. But that's why you sell. So you guys are doesn't sell, but if you guys walk motor show that hey they run like why are they?
Yeah, I can talk. So I want to ask Jackie the same question, and then I want to come back to you on that topic. So Jackie, and kind of like what Eric had asked in the chat box there. So you talked about kind of pulling out with NHRA, but I know you've done like a bunch of activations with Drift. So what has been the best activation that's given the most ROI that you guys have done?
I know I'm on the drag race portion of this, but the best that have been only because it's been our drill, and a lot of the folks that goes are like they're building like type of car. It's not as like near in time drag, but in Drift can buy Toyota to try to cool. So in my opinion, we've had more success there, and also whereas drag racing they're using spark plugs and like two sensors, but Drift they can use, so that's been better for us, but not to discount drag racing because drag racing still is there still teams that are there. There's grind still
kind of fortune and timing to what differentiated us from maybe what's out there in the marketplace at that time, and then three just really good partners.
You said something really cool at the last summit, and this brings up something that it's across all motorsports, not just drifting. But you don't go after a marketing budget all the time. You go after a paid advertising budget instead of just the marketing budget. You do both, but the paid advertising budget is what a lot of drivers don't consider. Can you explain that? And for the drivers on the call that don't know what I'm talking about, can you help inform them that there are other ways to get money from sponsors than just marketing budgets?
Yeah, so I've worked super closely with Formula Drift and really understanding how they use their marketing and their strategy to go after their budgets. And they have this platform called Hook It, and Hook It is something that I use. It's owned by this very large platform, core software, and they basically can put ad dollars on how much views, impressions, and engagement you're getting on a post. And for me, for those of you who don't know, like I have a larger social media following, a little over 3 million total social reach. And not only am I doing deals within the motorsports industry for my racing, but I'm also doing deals as an influencer working with brands, because at the end of the day, if you look at these brands, they're just looking to find influencers to have another part of you can be an extension of their marketing team at the end of the day. So I've done a few like ad studies and like case reports where I basically look and I evaluate how much ad value I'm generating for a company. And not only are you selling an on-site asset to these brands, for example, my partner, United States Air Force, gets a branded car, and the car is something that gets engagement at the track, on the track, fans walking by in the pits, but then that on-site asset now turns into an online asset. And with the posting and sharing of the logo online, you can also generate an ad for them. So not only are you dipping into their marketing budget, but you can say, hey, do you do any Facebook ads? Instead of paying Facebook $1 for a view, pay me a third of that and I'll give you 2 times the views. So you can dip into these ad buckets as well, like rather than just their marketing dollars.
Young brands, but you know racing very well. What is it about drifting specifically that is attractive to Kanze and just brands in general? Why sponsor drifting? Oh, your microphone is off. Sorry, you're muted.
Of course.
We'll ask you to unmute and make it easy for you here. No.
And it's here. We have plenty of influencers that also touch the automotive space, especially the drift scene, which is on such a rise. So speaking on behalf of Conte here and what typically they look for in regards to like a sponsorship program and how much, let's say, an influencer is targeted, or how significant of a role they play within accepting an application process of being an influencer per se. It's up there. We definitely like to prioritize recognition and diversity. It's not all about podiums. And like I said, when we briefly touched on this a little while ago, it's interesting hearing all different types of demographics that touch on sponsorships. And companies per se all over and what the requirements they typically look for. Drifting for us at Conte specifically is about style and is about consistency. So adapting and pivoting is really important. So when we're touching on influencers, and if we're looking at influencers only being able to represent a product at one capacity, it might not be something that we touch on too heavily outside of the professional scene. So when Conte itself is looking for any specific type of driver per se, whether that's grassroots or looking to get in pro-am or professional drivers, we just want diversity and the material to be able to market and utilize to help push the brand at some capacity.
The diversity is key because when you go to a drift event, if you walk the pits, I mean, it is probably the most diverse international, not just the cars, the brands, the people that are there versus certain Midwest, certain Middle America racing where it's very segmented and it's, there's obvious culture. That diversity is international when it comes to drifting, which means that you're reaching a much larger, broader audience. So as you're promoting Kansei and then any brand, let's say through drifting, you're reaching more so than just the local community, you're reaching an international audience. How has the success of drifting affected the growth of Kansei? Because the brand is not that, I want to say 7 years old, 8 years old. It's a relatively young brand, but the presence is enormous.
Correct. So thank you for saying that. I mean, like I said, I think Kansei, especially speaking on behalf of Chris Beck, who is the wheel designer and the founder of Kansei Wheels, he takes a lot of pride in the community of drifting. Like, that's why he was so inspired to start the brand overall. So it's directly reflected on like the grittiness and the raw driving of drifting. Like, he wants to embrace that and follow through with that. So you're right, Kansei is not necessarily a newer brand, but not an old one either. They just came out with a new wheel, the 7, which signifies the 7th year in business for Kansei. So yeah, it's an interesting thing, like broadly talking about how much drifting influences that brand. But we get a bunch of different motorsports in general, primarily based off of drifting. However, drifting all over and being that it is so diverse is great for the brand because we want to stick with the drifting and the grassroots and being able to kind of touch on that sport, considering it's why the brand was started and curated.
Well, that's a wrap on the 2025 Motorsports Sponsorship Summit. I had no intentions originally of sharing it on YouTube. I literally just had the idea pop in my head this morning. So I'm going to try to do some more vlogging every day. Let's see what happens. But I just want to get back on the grind and share more content out there for you guys. So if you have any ideas, any requests, throw them in the comments below this video. I will definitely read them and respond back to you. Let me know if you have any questions, anything that you would like to see, whether it comes to in the race shop or more of what I do as many roles that I have, including being a team manager for Rainy My Racing, but also as a consultant and advisor and graphic designer and social media manager for a handful of other teams. So let me know what you would want to see, and stay tuned for announcements for my racing program for 2025. Very excited. We've got some big things coming for that. So that's a wrap. Going to head back over to the shop to pick up Henry and have another team meeting with my dad in regards to what we're going to be doing with for our first race. I can't share anything yet, but we do have some big plans. Probably one of the biggest things we've ever done is going to be happening at the first race. So you got to stay tuned. I can't share anything yet, but that's it. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Hey.